Hi, my name is Chris Blackburn. Welcome to Penguin Air Conditioning's YouTube channel.
So tell me, Chris, what's all this PV plug-in thing we're hearing about?
Well, PV plug-in is a recent innovation. It's happened in the past few years. Essentially, it does what it says on the tin. It's a plug-in panel. You take the photovoltaic panel and you plug it directly into the electricity supply.
So can I run my whole house off just some plug-in panels?
No, unfortunately not. You imagine each panel is 250 watts, say. 250 watts is a peak capacity. That peak capacity will never reach, so you're talking on average around about 200 watts. And when your house runs, it basically peaks and troughs. What you're trying to do is get to the lowest trough and get across the board on that lowest trough. So essentially it's around about 500 watts on a typical house. Some houses obviously go to say 5 kilowatts. I do measure houses in the Algarve area which have that kind of consumption, but the average house would barely go above a kilowatt in terms of its trough. I mean, obviously it peaks up to 5 kilowatts and it goes down to 300 watts. What you're trying to do is not waste money because it goes nowhere.
So if I was an owner of such a property and was to go away on holiday, would it run all my basic systems?
Yeah, that's essentially the idea. If you imagine a fridge, that's in the region of 150 to 200 watts, that's a plug-in panel. Imagine your pool pump, it can be up to 1.4 kilowatts. And that can run 8 hours a day. So if you're running your pool pump during the day, yeah, it makes sense to install something like 1.5 kilowatts worth of panels. If you're not running your pool pump and you're very frugal in how you run your house, I mean, obviously you need to leave your fridge and your freezer running. I mean, that's a given. And we have a thing here in the Algarve where we have to have irrigation all the time, otherwise your lawn will get destroyed. So things like that you're trying to target.
So how many panels will I need to do something like that? Does it take a lot of space?
Each panel is essentially 2 by 1, so it's 2 square meters a panel. Imagine 6 panels, that's 12 square meters.
So I just need 12 square meters of flat roof space?
Yes, but it's not going to be the be-all and end-all of your house. I mean, it'll help on the energy consumption. So essentially what you're trying to do these days is to reduce as much as possible and then you produce. You can really sort of bump up the effectiveness of a photovoltaic panel by using highly efficient devices like a variable speed pool pump or a heat pump to heat you and cool your house.
So you're an installer, but in this case you don't really install because I just plug them in.
Well, it's not so simple. I mean, hypothetically it's simple. I mean, essentially you can plug it in, but obviously there are a few things you need to be aware of. It's an electricity device. Essentially what we do is we actually go into the back of the distribution board for the electricity, and that requires an electrician. It also requires, we have a company here called the EDP. We have to tell them basically we have plug-in solar on the roof, and anything more than 1.5 kilowatts you have to register with them and pay a license fee, which is nominal, but imagine if somebody's working on the line and the electricity supply is down, they get a shock. They'll get a shock from your PV panels and they won't be too happy about that. You'll end up in court.
Oh, I see. So Penguin will handle all of that registration service for me?
Yes, of course.
Excellent. And are these easily available? Do I have to order?
Well, of course you have to order, but you can order with us, you can order with many other companies. The advantage about ordering with Penguin obviously is we're more systems integrators, so we'll install the PV panels as part of another larger system or some other devices in the house. So we'd essentially do an audit on your house to make sure that you're getting the most bang for your buck.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Thank you.